Tonight on CTV News at 5.
We're taking home gold.
Ready to shine, Special Olympians countdown to the Nova Scotia Provincial Summer Games.
Absolutely gutted, Ryan. It feels like a family member has died, to be honest with you.
Honoring Aussie maritime fans, remember the Prince of Darkness.
We certainly had summery weather today and more like it for tomorrow, with showers coming up at the end of the week.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, no place to play. As the region's population grows, so too does the demand on our hospitals, schools, and housing. Another area that's experiencing some growing pains are sports facilities like fields and arenas. As CTV's Jesse Thomas shows us, many athletes find themselves on the sidelines as the competition for space heats up. Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Maria. Yeah, we've reported during the winter months about the population growth and its impact on the sport of hockey and available ice time. But here in the summer, there's growth challenges associated with sports played on fields and courts. Have a look.
Halifax blew past the 500,000 people mark last year. Almost 50% of Nova Scotia's population calls the city home, and is putting pressure on summer sports like baseball. Mike Burgess says the population growth is outpacing its current sport and recreation facilities.
It's frustrating, right? You pay, you want your kids to develop, you want them to have fun, and they're just not having the time to be able to get on the fields and really grow, develop, and hang with their friends.
There's not enough baseball diamonds, but Burgess says the field booking system is out of date and doesn't help the situation.
What I've done is actually taken some kids, and we're often in random green spaces, working on our pitching, working on our fielding, etc. It's not the same experience. It's not the full team.
It's not just baseball diamonds. Cricket is growing in popularity, driven largely by Halifax's growing immigrant population.
Now we have two grounds, two cricket fields. One is Halifax Commons, and the other one is Don Bears and Burnside.
And cricket could grow with more room to play. Games are spilling into any free space, and there's been some pushback.
We need 5 cricket fields right now, but if we can get like 2 more, that would be easier for everybody.
Over on the tennis court, it's a battle sometimes just to find a slot.
It gets crowded around 4, and 4 till about 8:30. This place is packed. You're not going to find a court easily.
Meanwhile, back at the baseball diamond, Burgess has a petition circulating online calling on the city to urgently address the shortage of places to play.
Now, nobody from Parks and Recreation were available for an interview today, but the message from athletes and families is clear. The city has some catching up to do. Maria, back to you.
Thank you, Jesse. CTV's Jesse Thomas for us in Halifax on the Halifax Common tonight, where no doubt people will be playing baseball and other sports this evening as well. Thank you, Jesse. All right, that actually brings us to tonight's web poll. We are asking, does your community have enough sports facilities? Your options are simple: yes, no, and finally, it depends on the sport. Go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see the latest poll results. Todd Battis joins us now. Todd, I was talking with Jesse, and he said, you know, with some of these sports, you can find time in the middle of the day, but everybody's at camp or at school or wherever. In the evening is when it really, really amps up. And I can tell you, being married to somebody who plays a lot of recreational hockey, the gentlemen get pushed into the evenings. Sometimes my husband's games are starting as late as 10 o'clock.
Yeah, they can be quite late. And I suppose this is, on the one hand, is a good news story, Maria, because we're often talking about how we're living a more sedentary lifestyle. And if we're encouraging people, and especially young people, to go out and get involved in sports and recreational activities, there's going to be more pressure, of course, on these facilities, just like Jesse mentioned. And then it gets into things like stadiums and lots of other things that we've reported on in the newscast for a few years now.
Not something that's going to go away anytime soon.
That's right.
That's right. All right. Well, you've had a busy day in the newsroom, and you've got to look at the headlines for us.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We're going to start tonight with a report from the Transportation Safety Board that points to a temporary repair job on a fuel line, which is being blamed for an engine room fire that eventually led to the MV Holiday Island being scrapped. A new report shows the temporary fix resulted in fuel spraying into engine components. That ignited the fire. That grounded the ferry, and that caused all kinds of problems. We will have the details for you tonight. The premiers have wrapped up their meetings in Ontario. New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt says they told the Prime Minister they want the best deal possible for Canada. They don't want to be rushed by any deadline. We will speak to her, and we will hear from CTV's Nick Moore at 6. Another covered bridge in New Brunswick has been closed because of safety reasons. The bridge is in Notre Dame. It was built in 1942. The closure signs at one of the entrances and the concrete barriers have been removed. Some people still traveling over it. That's causing all kinds of issues. We will hear from Derek Haggett in your newscast. Right now, let's hear from Kayla Mitchell on another beautiful day in the Weather Center. Kayla?
Yeah, that's right, Todd. So if you were to average out a bunch of late July days, say over the last couple of decades, you'd end up with a day very much like this, because today's weather conditions very much close to the averages for the last part of this month. It included temperatures, which now as we're moving towards this evening are mostly around the mid-20s, with exceptions being parts of the coastline, which are being held a little bit cooler, where the wind is blowing in onshore off of ocean waters. That's showing up with that 19 degrees at Lunenburg. That weather station near Lunenburg, though, very much exposed to that type of sea breeze, and 20 at Yarmouth, and even a little bit cooler at St. John, sitting at 23. And humidity today did tick up a little bit, so humidex values at this hour making it feel more up towards the high 20s in a number of cases, and actually near 30 for St. Stephen in the southwest of New Brunswick. Overall, though, even though it was a little bit more humid, it really wasn't into that stifling level of humidity that can build up. Humidity will be taking another step up for tomorrow. Taking a look at the wind direction, mostly out of the southwest. The winds are being sustained currently between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour in most cases, a few gusts of around 30. Winds will be out of the southwest for tomorrow, but they're going to pick up a little bit compared to today. So a little bit more of a breezy or blustery day ahead of us for Thursday. As far as the weather conditions go for tonight, there's just a few fair weather clouds around, a little bit of a high haze. That from wildfire smoke out of the wildfires in both Saskatchewan and Manitoba, though for us here in the Maritimes, it's located high enough not to really impact our air quality. Coming up near the end of this week, especially Friday, there is going to be a round of showers that works its way into the Maritimes, so this weather front developing well off towards the west of us. As we've talked about, we certainly need any July rain we can get. I'll have more details on the weather over the next couple of days when I'm back a little bit later on. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. All right, it's time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. But for anyone who's hoping to step back in time, a little later we'll take you to the Tinsmith Museum in Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia. You don't want to miss it. And here's a preview of what's coming up next.
I'm Brianne Foley in Halifax, where we catch up with Special Olympic members from a local soccer team heading to provincials this weekend. All those details tonight on CTV News at 5.
The Pharma Choice Golf Tournament, in support of Christmas Daddies, helps make Christmas better for many maritime children and families. To everyone who hit the green for this great cause, we thank you for your generosity.
Welcome back. Over 9,000 Special Olympics athletes, coaches, and volunteers from across Nova Scotia will gather in Antigonish tomorrow to kick off the provincial 2025 Summer Games. And as CTV's Brianne Foley shows us, one particular athlete is ready to hit the pitch and prove her province proud.
I think it just makes me feel even more confident, because I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can do anything.
The Special Olympics Nova Scotia Provincial Summer Games begins Thursday at St. FX, and Ashley Thomas says her team is ready.
Because we all know like each other's strengths, so we know, okay, this person's really good at shooting, so give them a good pass, and they're basically going to score.
It's not just in sport, that's in life. Is we all have to have teamwork. But seeing that progress from the early stages to now, to put those skills forward to them, and then to see them actually do it and make plays that you've taught them, it's a really, really good feeling.
Jeff Tyler has been coaching for over 10 years. He says there is more to Special Olympics than just sport.
It's about how it affects you in everyday life. It gave me a lot of confidence in other things, in other aspects of my life, that I found better skills to be able to cope.
Because it's fun. It's like another family. You can't really know unless you're there. Like when you're there, you're like, oh, that's what Ashley was talking about.
It's a feeling of community where athletes can continue to grow with the support of their coaches and fellow teammates.
I'm faster, I'm stronger, I'm more confident, and knowing when new people come into the team, it's just making them feel confident and welcoming.
There's lots of different sports going on, so whatever your sport is, just go choose that, have a look, see what's going on, and you'll just see people having fun, having a good time, and competing strong as well.
Of course, for Ashley, winning is also up there.
We're taking home gold.
Opening ceremonies kick off Thursday evening with competitions beginning Friday. Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Brianne, and thank you to Ashley. Good luck to all of the athletes and everybody who's taking part. Way to go.
I like that competitive spirit.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we are looking for sunshine. Kaylin, what do you have for us?
Yeah, well, we have some more coming up in the forecast for tomorrow, but we had some sunshine today. And to show that, here is a spectacular and unique view. This is coming in from Courthouse Hill in Gore, Nova Scotia, where apparently on a clear day, if you look around, you can see 5 different Nova Scotian counties.
Wow.
The radar site, the weather radar, is also pretty close to Gore, Nova Scotia. Speaking of weather, more on that after the break.
So this is 8-year-old Hunter working tirelessly to earn a ticket to the upcoming Jelly Roll concert at YQM Country Fest next month. His mom, Steph Arsenault, shared the video and says she's so proud of how hard he's worked, even putting in late nights getting ready to sell his delicious and refreshing lemonade. Turns out Hunter surpassed his $275 goal and was able to purchase another ticket for another little boy. Way to go, Hunter. Enjoy the show. By the way, YQM Country Fest is slated for August 21st through the 23rd in Dieppe. And Kaylin, you've heard this. Kane Brown, Luke Bryan, and of course, Jelly Roll, all going to be performing. Epic show. And Hunter, I think you're going to have a time.
Boy, I could go for a tall glass of cold lemonade right now. It was the weather for it today across the Maritimes. It was sunny and warmer, which is often the case as we get into late July. Let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset times. And for that, we're going to go to a view that features just a little bit more cloud cover. This is near Middle River, Nova Scotia, and around the Cabot Trail. There was some broken cloud cover developed around the Maritimes for today, and we can hear that little bit of a breezy wind as well. Taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure is on the higher side for all 3 maritime provinces. It is a ridge of high pressure that's currently over top of us, kind of lingers into tomorrow. Some slight changes in the Thursday forecast for the region. I'll talk about those in a moment. And then off towards the west, we have a couple developing low pressure systems, couple weather fronts between them. It's that weather front that is expected to be bringing in a round of showers across the maritime region on Friday. It's going to be directed our way by the jet stream, which is currently heading up in a little bit of a ridge over parts of Ontario and southern areas of Quebec, and really allowing some heat to build up through that part of the country. Taking a look at things on radar currently, not much to show you here as we move through the night. It's expected to be just a few clouds around, some fog patches developing. There is a little bit of a thin high haze present, especially around eastern areas of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, eastern areas of Nova Scotia. As I mentioned earlier, that is from smoke from the fires in the west. High enough, though, not to really impact air quality. Start of the day for tomorrow, we'll see any fog patches around the Maritimes dissipate or retreat off the coastline. The afternoon, mostly a mix of sun and cloud, warmer, even hot for some areas, and a little bit more on the humid side compared to today. Additionally, Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening, I'm expecting some isolated showers with a risk of a thunderstorm for communities in the north of New Brunswick, Edmonton, Perth Andover, Campbellton, Dalhousie areas, Bathurst, and across the Acadian Peninsula. Even Miramichi, Thursday evening will have a chance of a shower, and those showers running out ahead of the front that's moving into the Maritimes for Friday. Taking a look at winds in the forecast for tomorrow, they're expected to be out of the southwest. They do pick up a little bit compared to today, so tomorrow's gusts 30 to 50 kilometers per hour, so a bit more on the blustery side. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight around the Maritimes. They're a little bit milder than the last couple of nights. Most of the lows tonight will be in the range of around 13 to 17 degrees. And then highs in the forecast for tomorrow around the region in New Brunswick. It's mostly up into the high 20s, but feeling with the low 30s with the humidity in the air. A little bit more moderate around the Bay of Fundy coastline. For Prince Edward Island tomorrow, high temperatures will be around the mid to high 20s. And same thing goes for most areas of Nova Scotia, except along the Atlantic coastline, where most high temperatures will be held in the range of around 21 to 25 degrees. Taking a look at the forecast for Friday, that's when we start to see this line of showers move in from the west. There will be a risk of thunderstorms with those showers. The showers will be developing morning into afternoon for the province of New Brunswick, reaching Prince Edward Island Friday afternoon. And for Nova Scotia, it looks like most of the showers are going to be holding off until Friday evening and night, and then coming to an end early Saturday morning. And behind that, for the remainder of Saturday, clearing to become mostly sunny or fair weather mix of sun and cloud. And a lot of high temperatures in the Maritimes look like they'll be around the mid-20s. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is 11-year-old Emily Meyer from Herring Cove, Nova Scotia. Emily has sent us a drawing of the sunrise over Halifax Harbor. Thank you, Emily. If you'd like to be one of our weather watchers, then come into CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So the Tinsmith Museum in Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia will transport you back in time. CTV's Paul DeWitt takes us to the historic building that dates back to 1896.
Welcome to the Tinsmith Museum in Shubenacadie, owned by the Smith family for over 100 years. Let's go and take a look back in time. Harry's father, Watson, built and opened the doors in 1895, and Harry closed the doors in 1995 due to his age. However, he was able to do so much for the community during his lifetime. He was still open for custom things to people. However, he didn't keep the doors open regularly. He left everything as is because he knew that he always wanted this place to be left as a legacy to his family. You'll get to see a lot of product that was originally sold in the store, as well as some that was donated from locals around Shubenacadie. We like to say that it's kind of become almost a catch-all for the Shubenacadie history, where people can come and see things that either their relatives would have had or things that remind them of their childhood. It really is like stepping back in time. I mean, and for us working here, you see something new every day that you're here, and there's always a learning process to it. So we still have the original showing of how the rope would have been sold in the store, as well as you can see how everything would have operated in the tin shop and how the family made their milk cans when they were still producing milk cans for the dairy farmers of Shubenacadie. So when people come into the museum, they can really see how innovative the family was. There were lots of things that they did to make work life easier. For example, all of their lights in the tin shop were on pulley systems so they could get better light down at the tables. So this is just another way that Harry was innovative within the shop and kept his tools organized in the workshop. We're open from 10 to 5 every day until August 23rd. You could really come in here 100 times and still see something new every single time. Please come visit us, and we'd love to show you around.
Thank you very much. A nice place to spend the day. If you don't preserve it, you lose it. That's awesome. The Tinsmith Museum, and you can find them also online in Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia. All right, time for our final break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, music and memories.
Mama, I'm coming home. I'm Ryan McDonald in Sydney, where, like elsewhere in the Maritimes, music fans and some musicians themselves are remembering the one-of-a-kind rock and roll legend that was Ozzy Osborne. A few tunes of tribute are coming up.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter.
Caught on camera. Inspired by the Coldplay incident. When were you caught on camera? Tomorrow at 6.
And play $1,000 Minute at 7. Win $1,000 when you answer 10 questions in 60 seconds.
Tomorrow on CTV News at 5, 28 years of Stanfest. CTV's Katie Kelly broadcasts live from the Stan Rogers Folk Festival in Canso, Nova Scotia. Don't miss the sights and sounds tomorrow at 5, right here on CTV. Looking forward to that. Also looking forward to this story. We wrap up with a tribute to music legend. Maritime fans are remembering Ozzy Osborne today, who passed away at the age of 76 yesterday. CTV's Ryan McDonald spoke with a couple of fans with whom he really struck a chord.
Times have changed and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home.
Music fans around the Maritimes are mourning the loss of one of the most famous figures in rock and roll history.
Absolutely gutted, Ryan. It feels like a family member has died, to be honest with you.
You took me in and you drove me out, yeah, you had me hypnotized, yeah.
Robbie Sims is a well-known performer in the Sydney area who started listening to Ozzy Osbourne's music when he was 15 years old. He remembers how he quickly found himself trying to emulate the man's every move on stage.
Because once I heard him, I became addicted. Like, I worshiped the man. I had to learn everything.
I've probably seen Ozzy or Black Sabbath with Ozzy, you know, at least 20 times. I've met Ozzy 6 times.
Jim Dulesky of Sydney is a devoted superfan who even made the trip to Ozzy's hometown of Birmingham, England, to see him perform there.
It's like, you know, not meeting your own father, but meeting a father figure type person.
And one of his face-to-face encounters with the Prince of Darkness was immortalized in this photo.
A picture of him choking me, and he's making a joke about, like, why do his fans always ask him to do this?
I'll remember him as someone who brought a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Like many others, Sims says it was only fitting that Ozzy got to perform one last time at home in Birmingham just 17 days before he died.
We love you, Oz. We're going to remember you forever. Cheers.
I'm coming home.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Obviously, his music will live on for sure. Thank you for sharing, you guys.
What an icon.
Yeah, absolutely. Caitlin Mitchell joins us once again. We're looking for your last word on the weather here.
Yeah, so we do have some hotter July temperatures coming up over the next couple of days, really, but we're still looking for more rain as well. So coming up at 6, I'll talk about when and how much we can expect some wet weather.
Excellent. We'll see you and Todd at 6 o'clock. I'll see you tomorrow. Have yourselves a lovely evening. The national news continues.